Hello everybody and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. All right, in the last episode we baled our straw that was in our fields, and then we delivered some flour to the bakery so we can start with that production chain. So if we go here, we can look at our production chain. So this is how you can see your production chain without actually going to the buildings themselves. So you can see we have 195 liters of flour so far being produced, and then in our grain mill we have flour. Well, the incoming is 20,000 liters, right? But in our grain mill we're still making, we have 26,000 liters of wheat in storage, and right now we have 320 liters in storage right now. But I'm pretty sure there's like pallets out there or something. But anyways, yeah, so apparently I've been doing this game wrong, or like I'm starting to kind of get the grasp of the game, right? So essentially the best strategy for us is to buy as many fields as we can, get a diverse number of crops going, and then start production chains. And then the last thing to prioritize is to get bigger, larger equipment. So you may have noticed, like with our combine, the only time we actually ever use the combine is when we're harvesting our wheat. But as you look at the schedule, wheat is only harvested July or August, right? So that means our combine just sits out these months before we can actually start harvesting that. And so essentially what we don't want is that happening. Like a good indication that you're not making enough money as you should, I guess, for lack of a better thing, is your equipment is idle. So because our combine is idle, that's bad, because we want to make sure we're constantly producing stuff. So in our case, we want to make sure we're constantly producing bread. So one thing we could do is buy more fields, and then what we could do is like plant oat in March and April. And then yeah, so the trick is we want to diversify our things, but like as you can see, things like wheat, barley, and canola and oat, those all get harvested in these months. So what we want to do is try to like spread it out and get different production chains going. The thing is, we just don't want our combine sitting around here. Ideally you want this to be used often, and if you're not using it often enough, that means you don't have enough fields going, right? So if you're not constantly using the combine, well, not constantly, but you know, if the combine is idle a lot, or any of your equipment is idle a lot, that tells you need more fields, right? And then if you get to the point where you got so many fields that your equipment can't handle all those fields, then you need larger equipment, is essentially how that works. So the problem is, like, all of the grain stuff, that's only a once a year thing. So yeah, wheat and oat we can only harvest in July, and then sorghum we can harvest in August. That's it. We only have like 2 days to harvest these things. It would take all day for that combine to harvest all that. So I think the first thing we need to do is get more fields for sure. But I don't know what crop type to use, because you know, our combine is only used for like so the combine that we have now only supports wheat, barley, oat, canola, soybeans, and sorghum. If we look at canola, we can start another production chain. As you can see, canola, the harvest times are the same. And you know, what we could do is we could kind of split it up to where we're harvesting wheat and oat, or just wheat, and then in our canola field in July, and then our canola field in August we could harvest it. You know, instead of just having a bread production, we can have bread and oil production going at the same time. Yeah, so with the canola plants, we can produce canola oil, and as you can see, canola oil is very high. So I wonder what we should do is actually go for canola, because like canola is 3,000 per 1,000 liters, and then but bread, which not only bread has to go through more processes, so bread is only like $2,700, but then canola oil $3,000. So I think if we want to like progress faster into this game, we need to get another production chain going and start doing canola as well, especially because since canola is something we can actually do. So that's going to be our game plan. We're going to set up a new production chain. It's going to be the canola oil, and yeah, let's do that. Okay, so the oil mill is here next to the equipment shop, so let's go see how much it costs to buy that. And if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and like the video, and also remember to subscribe. Subscribing not only supports the channel, but it also helps you to know when new videos such as Farming Simulator 22 come out. All right, we're here at the oil mill, so let's see how much this costs here. Gotta find a little wrench icon. Okay, $80,000 for the oil mill. Now what I want to do is see how much Field 56 costs here. $244,000. In order to buy the oil mill and this Field 56 to grow our canola on, we're gonna need at least 350,000, I think. That way we have like a little bit money left over. So yeah, let's do that. We're gonna need to do contracts or something, or start selling some bread in order to get that. But at least we do have a production line going. It's just in order to progress faster in the game, we want more production lines going, especially because canola is, you get more money out of the canola, right? So we definitely want to do that. I do think the fastest way to progress in the game was to start off with growing grass and doing the bales and silage. That probably would have been the fastest way to make money, because you can pretty much seed and harvest grass year round. So I think only in the winter months you can't do that. Another thing we need to do is we need to get the weeder out and get rid of these weeds in our fields as well. You can see there's some weeds growing on here, so we need to weed our fields. Yeah, bread is going to take forever to produce. But one thing we could do is any more flour that we get, we can drop off at the bakery. But since you know, we're already storing flour here, that tells me we already got pallets. We already got like 12 pallets at the mill that we need to pick up and take over to the bakery anyways. But we'll do that after we weed our fields. All right, looks like we're done with weeding. Now the next thing I want to do is do fertilizing again, because I do think these are in a different growth phase. Yeah, so should be able to fertilize again. Just gonna wash off the weeder real quick. Okay, got our fertilized spreader. And now we just need to spread it out like butter. All right, fields have been fertilized. So I think we're good until we're ready to harvest. We don't need to tend to the fields anymore. Okay, so what I want to do now is we should have some more pallets at the grain mill to pick up and take to the bakery. So I'm gonna attach our loader here to the tractor and the fork, and we'll go to the grain mill and deliver some more pallets of flour. Okay, we're not completely full on pallets yet, but close enough. All right, let's just load up some of these pallets onto the truck and go deliver them to the bakery. All right, another load of flour ready to be delivered to the bakery. All right, just dumping off the flour at the bakery. All right, so now we got 29, almost 30,000 liters of flour in the bakery, and we got like a half a pallet so far. So I'm kind of curious where they're going to drop the pallets off. Oh, nice. We already have a pallet of bread right here. Pallet bread, 1,000 liters. Nice. So this is our first pallet of bread. It looks very artisanal. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? Artisan. Got some sourdough, marble rise. Yeah, I'm not sure how we're gonna fit our tractor in here. I may need to like just actually get a freaking whatchamacallit, forklift. And actually, I don't want to run over the bread, so I'm just gonna back out. All right, I'm gonna leave the truck here and just keep the flatbed like this. I'm gonna see if it'll actually automatically load the flour on here, so we'll see if that works. If not, all right, how much do forklifts cost? So we got this one for $37,000. Might be better to get one of these. What's nice about this one is it just needs gas, but these ones need electricity. They'd have to charge it up at a charging station somewhere. Plus this one's more expensive. This one's cheaper. Yeah, let's go ahead and get a forklift. Actually, that'll make it easier to load our bread up than trying to maneuver that big honking tractor in the back of the bakery. All right, here it is, our little forklift. This is tiny, but this should do the job, right? So let's see how well this works. Works pretty well, actually. I'm just gonna drive this over to the store. We could probably actually take this to the fast food restaurant, see how much money we get out of it. Probably only like a little less than $2,500. All right, here we are at the fast food restaurant. We'll accept my bread. We gotta drop it off. Oh, so the fast food restaurant isn't a place we can drop the bread off. That's interesting. All right, here we are at the supermarket. It's taking my bread. Yeah, there we go. Almost $3,000 sold there. Nothing to sneeze at right now, but if we have 10 pallets of bread, you know, that's $27,000 right there. And then when we get our canola production going, that's going to be another like $30,000, $35,000 maybe. I'm just going to leave the forklift here. So that way I can pick it up when we drop off another thing of flour. And I'm inside the building. I don't think that was supposed to happen. How we could drop it off there. Yeah, let's do this one. We need more money to buy the oil mill and then also to get that new field 56. All right, let's harvest some corn. All right, we finally got this corn harvest done. We got like $5,000 of extra harvest income, so that's good. So let me go to the contracts here and I'll close it out. And I think we're just going to call that a day here. $209,000. So we still need $244,000 to buy field 56. And then we also need another $80,000 to buy the oil mill so we can get our canola production started. All right, here we are. It's now November. Yeah, so it looks like maybe this is getting in the way of the pallet. So I need to pull this out. Actually pull it out properly. Are the pallets going to appear after I move that? Yep, there they go. Yeah, so you can't just put the truck there. You have to load everything up with some sort of loader. If it's like a forklift or one of these things. So I'm just gonna go ahead and load some more flour up, take it to the bakery, and then once I get to the bakery, I'm gonna start using my forklift that I bought instead. Looks like we got a couple more pallets of bread here. But I want to wait until I have at least 10 before taking it to the store. I also want to bring down the ramps here. So that way I can put my forklift on the truck now. And then I can just use the forklift from now on instead of the tractor. The thing is, I don't know if this can do 2 pallets at the same time like our tractor can. Hopefully it will. And hopefully we can actually get up this. And we just need to make sure we strap down our forklift. See, I'm buying a lot of equipment, but what you really need to do is prioritize buying fields, because the more fields you can do, you know, not only the more stuff you can harvest, but also you can have more of a diversity as well, so you can start multiple production chains like I'm trying to do here with the bread and canola oil. Probably be helpful if I lift the ramps up, huh? Or fold the ramps up, so we're not skipping around all over the place. All right, and I'm just gonna leave the truck here because I want to bring my tractor back home. Well, we'll hop into this giant tractor again. Can't wait until we can get a tractor like this. We'll get there. I think now that, because the formula is you just want to get a bunch of production chains going. So all we need to do is just get that canola chain going, as well as with our bread, and then we should be making at least $50,000 a day doing that. Okay, we'll let AI take over for that. So we're almost out of wheat flour, so that's kind of bad. So that's bad, right? Because we want this to be running constantly, producing flour for us. Same thing with the bakery. We want this constantly running, producing bread for us, because otherwise we'll just be wasting money paying the maintenance fee on it. I didn't realize there was a secret formula or recipe for doing this, but that's part of the game. You learn. And I'm not exactly sure what else to do, so I'll just wait for this cultivating contract to be done, and then we'll call it a day there. All right, the contract here is all done, so just need to come back in here and select. I think that's all the contracts I want to do today. No, it's still just 2 pallets. I'm actually gonna just leave my truck here. Got 6,000 liters of wheat left, and we're processing that into flour. But once it's all done processing, what's going to end up happening is we're going to have to pay that maintenance fee, and we're not like processing anything. So that's kind of the drawback there. But that's the life of a farmer. All right, but I'm just going to end it on this day. Sure, tomorrow we'll have some more flour we need to drop off to the bakery. So we'll do that. But I do want to buy a new field, get the sorghum ready on that. Not sorghum, canola ready on that field. Start getting another production chain. And that's what we're gonna do for this video, or episode I should say. All right, December, it's almost the holidays. All right, do we got more pallets of flour? We sure do. And that's all the flour that we have left. So we are out of wheat, and so these are the last pallets we can pick up. Now with my snazzy new forklift, it should be easier to pick those up. So I'll pick up both of them at the same time. That's good. Get it as high as possible here. All right, our last pallets are loaded up along with our forklift. Now we just need to take the rest of this to the bakery. That's all the flour we can produce, so we gotta wait until we can put some more wheat into the grain mill, produce more flour. Now we got 4 pallets of bread. 4 pallets of bread there. Guess it makes 2 pallets a day. Oh my god, I hate these cars. Well, now that we're pretty much out of flour, we can keep the truck in the forklift here somewhere. I'll just keep it in this field over here. Doesn't necessarily have to be at the farm. So yeah, we got almost 41,000 liters of flour here. That should make 20,000 liters of bread. So that means we should be able to make 20 pallets of these, which will give us around $50,000 once we deliver it all to the store. A little bit over $50,000. But the problem is you gotta wait for all this to produce. All right, let's see if we got any contracts. Hell no. We'll just go ahead and skip ahead to the next day. All right, now we're in January. No snow. That's interesting. Okay, so it looks like the maximum this can produce is 8 pallets. So we can only do 8 at a time. That's fine. How much flour do we have now? 36,000. So we had almost 41,000. Now we have 36,700, which that makes sense because 2,000, it takes 4,000 liters of flour to make 2,000 liters of bread, and that's 2 pallets. So yeah, that makes sense. All right, so we'll go ahead and skip January as well. All right, we're in February. We finally got 8 pallets of bread. Got a full load of bread here. So let's go ahead. Why am I calling it bread? It's bread. Let's go ahead and load that bread up and take it to the store and make some money. I'll see if I could like push these here. So I can come at it at a better angle. That's ridiculous that they did it like that. All right, the bread is finally loaded on the back of the truck. Now we're gonna take it to the supermarket, or the grocery store, I should say. We should get at least $20,000 out of this. Wonder if I could do it like this. Taking some of the bread. Okay. Trying to figure this out. Oh, that works. Sort of, kinda. Here we go, more bread. All right, we sold all of our bread. $22,779. Not bad, not bad. Fortunately, though, that didn't get us closer to buying field 56. Okay, canola needs to be either seeded today or tomorrow. I don't have enough money for the field. I was hoping I'd have enough money for the field. Can we deactivate these? Yeah, we could deactivate these for now. And then the cake too. Hopefully that saves us on money. Oh, so we got 5 pallets of bread. So if we could sell that bread, we should have enough for that field. Wow, $15,000 of bread. All right, that should give us enough money to finally get this field. Let's buy it. Here we go. Now we got our canola field. So let me go drop this tractor off, and we need to get to seeding our canola. I only got $9,000 left, so don't really have that much money anymore. But once we get some bread loads coming in and some contracts, we'll get that back up again. Buying the fields, you know, that is the priority. You want to buy more fields so you can make some more production lines. And the more production lines you have, the more you can sell stuff. So that's why we're doing it like this. All right, so we're going to use the plow to combine these new fields together. If I can learn how to frickin' drive one of these days. All right, we got our fields combined together after plowing. So now what I want to do is do some cultivating. All right, we got this field all cultivated. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with the AI, but after we passed on from 60 to 59, started to work again. So, all right, I'm gonna go fold up the cultivator, drop it off. We're gonna need to pick up all these freaking stones. It's nothing but giant stones, so we're gonna need the rock picker for sure. Using the roller is not gonna do us any good. We need the rock picker. Pick up all these stones. My tractor is also gonna need to be repaired here pretty soon, so hopefully we'll be able to repair it. I think it was like $10,000 to repair it last time, so hopefully we'll have enough money. I'm gonna wash off the cultivator real quick and the tractor as well. Why not? Hopefully we can actually rent the rock picker. I didn't even think about that. We're probably gonna have to take out a loan or something if we don't have enough money for these things. I don't have any pallets of bread to deliver. That's sad. I need money. I should have given myself a little bit more buffer with the money. All right, finally got all the stones off this field. There was a lot of them, a lot of big stones too. So I'm gonna go drop these stones off, and then I think we're ready to seed our canola. So I'll do that. Yeah, repair $10,000, and I don't even have $7,000 yet. So hopefully with my tractor, hopefully we can get through this canola seeding without needing to repair the tractor. Also need to get some fuel and some fire and that which I desire for my tractor as well. Really need some bread sales. Get my money back up, or like a contract or something. All right, let's go ahead and switch this out. Make sure we're using canola, which is that yellow flowery looking thing. Just want to double check. Hold up. I am the dumbest. So canola, you can only seed canola in August or September. What we could do is seed some oat, but then we could harvest that in July, and then we could get some more. Maybe that would be better to just seed the oat first, and then we could harvest the oat to make more bread. And then we could do the canola in August and then September we can. Okay, let's do that instead because I'm an idiot. All right, so we're doing oat. We're gonna do oat because oat should be harvestable in July, and then we could seed canola. At least we'll have some more grain for our grain mill so we can keep our bread production going. But I thought, when I looked at this, I thought this bar was for canola, and it's not. It's for oat because I am just so smart. All right, we are all seated, so now we need to roll, and also we need to put down some lime on this field as well. There's a little sliver right here that needs lime, but this whole field needs to be rolled, so we'll put the lime down and then do the rolling. And then after that, we got to fertilize, so it's already 5 o'clock, so this has been taking us all day to get this field ready. All right, we got that sliver of lime on there. I'm just gonna double check. There's just a little spot right there. That's fine. I don't care about the little spots. It looks like this field's already fertilized, so I think we're good there. It was just this field, or this part of this field, that needed to be fertilized, so should be good with fertilizing. All right, so now the last thing we need to do with that canola field is just roll it, and it should be all ready to go. We'll have to fertilize it, and we probably need to weed it next month, but now we're just rolling. All right, we are nice and rolled, done with the rolling. So that should be it. We did the fertilizing. We'll probably have to do fertilizing again next month, as well as like with some weeding. But yeah, that's our oat field set up. It's gonna become canola, but for now we gotta make it into oat, which actually would be not too bad because then we can store all that into the grain mill and continue to use that for bread production. All right, it's a new day. Let's see how much bread we got. Just a couple of pallets again. That's fine. Yep, so as I suspected, there's weeds out on these fields, so we're gonna need to weed them, and then we'll have to fertilize them again. So let's do that. And my tractor is the durability is really low, so hopefully we can do this without the tractor breaking down. So that'd be sad. Alrighty, we are all done weeding the field. We just need to fertilize again, and probably call that a day unless there's a good contract out. All right, we just need to do some fertilizing, and yeah, let's do it. All right, we are done fertilizing, and I think we're actually done for today. And we got a couple more pallets of bread. This should be enough where we can take to the bakery, get some money. We definitely need some. All right, we got some more bread sales here, so finally we get a little bit of breathing room since we're very low on money. But a lot of that money is going to go away because I need to fix my tractor. So we'll be back down to like $2,000, almost $3,000 again. Really starting to feel the struggles of being a farmer, you know? And I've yet to take out a loan or anything like that. And so that's kind of my goal, not to take out loans or anything. Just build it from the ground up without the loans or any other like assistance other than the contracts. Yeah, you can see our tractor is dangerously low from... I don't know what happens when that bar goes completely down. I don't know if the tractor just like breaks down and then like your SOL or what happens, so... But I'm not about to find out what does happen if the tractor does break down, because that sounds awful. This guy really needs to address his weed problem here. Oh my gosh, $17,000 to repair this. I don't have that money. I need to sell more bread or do a contract or something. Oh, we got the $26,000 baling. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'll come back once this contract is finished. Wow, this one was really hidden. Can I take it? 2 more harvesters to be found. And we got all the harvesters. Nice. All right, we got this contract all done for the bales. Our money's jumped up to almost $45,000, and actually, if I go in here and complete it, we now got 69. All right, $1,000. Now we got a good amount of money. We're not like on teetering on the cuffs of needing loans or going bankrupt or anything. So that means we can go ahead and repair my tractor since we can afford it now. All right, so the value of my tractor right now is $101,229. I wonder if I get it repainted, if the value will be greater. Probably. All right, so that's gonna be it for today. So tomorrow we'll be able to harvest our oats and wheat. Well, actually no, just the wheat, because the oat we planted in April, so August we'll be able to plant it, and then harvest the oat in August, but then on the same day we'll be able to plant the canola on here. So that's going to be the plan. So tomorrow we'll harvest the wheat, and then August harvest the oat, and then put the canola on our oat field, just reseed it with canola instead of oats. And we also, and it's September, we'll want to reseed the wheat as well. So that'll give us a nice, give us something to do pretty much every day now. So that's good. And also we want to be able to buy the oil production plant, oil, I forget what it's called, oil refinery, whatever, to process our canola into actual canola oil. So the best time to sell the bread is actually in December. So I'm wondering if we should just store the bread in December and then sell it then instead of right now. But I got a little desperate. I needed some money. So, but then let's also look at canola oil. So the best time to sell canola oil is going to be November. So yeah, so this is something you want to look at. You don't want to just, after you harvest it, go and sell it off. You'll want to actually store it somewhere, so that way you can sell it off at the appropriate time. And so for the canola oil, that's going to be November. So we probably won't be able to actually sell canola oil until next year anyways. We'll probably hold off on selling bread until December, and then hold off until selling oil until next November. So yeah, we're just gonna call it a day here, and then tomorrow we're gonna start harvesting our wheat field, or wheat fields I should say. Yeah, and also I should probably just keep like $20,000 on hand instead of letting it go so low. That way I could afford things like repairing equipment and stuff like that. So if you don't have enough money and you can't repair your equipment, then you either got to get loans or it's game over. So there we go. Wheat harvest round 2. All right, well, we got all that wheat harvested. I also did the bales as well. You guys see me do the bales and harvest the wheat before, so I just went ahead and skipped it. Things are starting to get a little bit repetitive now, so I'm gonna be cutting a lot of gameplay out, because you guys you've seen it before. Like, there's no point in making the same episode over and over and over again, right? So I'm only gonna be like showing the really major important parts here. But yeah, we got our wheat all harvested, we got our bales in, we got almost $60,000. Let's see, do we got any good contracts here? You know what, let me go ahead and do that. I'll do that, and then I'll come back when that is finished. All right, we're done with that canola harvest, that contract that we were doing. So I'll just go back to contracts here, complete that, select. All right, we almost got $80,000, so that's almost enough to buy the oil plant, but still not enough, and I want at least $20,000 of buffer. So well, it's already 5 o'clock. We're gonna call it a day. All right, our oats should be ready to harvest, so let's go ahead and start harvesting that. And because you guys already see me harvest oat like a million times, or just harvest it, I'm just gonna skip ahead until it's all done, and then I'll meet you back over here when it is. Okay, we are done harvesting our oats. So we got 33,000 liters of oats stored in the grain mill here, and we're still producing flour with the wheat in production. I'm just gonna wait until the wheat runs out before I start with the oats again. And what's nice about the oats is we actually get more oats per 150 liters, unlike the wheat flour where we actually get like 30 less. So we're getting like 38 more with the oats producing flour there instead of with the wheat. So but we do like get more wheat per harvest than the oat, because that whole field was only like 33,000 liters, and we got almost like 60,000 liters of wheat harvesting the 3 other fields here. So we need to pick up that straw from the oat field and then get that seeded with canola. So that's what we're going to be doing all day. So let's get to it. Also going to wash off the combine real quick. It's a little dirty. All right, combine's nice and clean. I also want to clean my tractor, but the tractor is too far away, so I'll do it later. I don't know if having it dirty kind of affects the damage, because I'm already at 25% damage. So I don't know. Let me clean it off. Maybe it does like reduce damage if the tractor is clean. Now I'm just gonna go grab the baler so we can bale up the straw in the oat field. That's gonna be our canola field, so I want to get that straw picked up and then start cultivating and doing the whole seeding process for canola on that field. No, we'll cultivate this field and then well, no, we need to start on this field, and then what we're gonna do is deliver some flour to the bakery so we can produce some more bread. This bakery is almost out of flour. Let's get this started. Let's get this party started. All right, just loading up some more flour here onto the truck. Seriously. I can fix this. Okay, we got all of our flour loaded onto the truck. Now we just need to get it to the bakery. She got the straps on tight. The long haul achievement. Okay. Maybe that just means I've been playing this game for X amount of time and I got an achievement. That's cool. 18,000 liters of flour here. Too bad there's not like a dumping thing I could do to just dump the flour on the ground. Hey, look at that. We got some pallets of bread. But we're gonna wait until, I think it's December. It's the best time to sell the bread. So we're gonna wait then. In the meantime, I need to go pick up my forklift. Come on, are you kidding me? I hate this game. All right, how's this guy doing? Oh, we're almost done. I don't know why, but like when you cultivate, it's supposed to only kick up the small rocks, but we're kicking up the big rocks. I don't get that. Usually it's just the small rocks and then we could just get rid of with the rollers, but no. It just decided, you know what? You get big rocks. During this cultivating session. This game makes absolutely no sense. They just want life to be difficult for me. Okay, we're finally done picking up the stone, so I'm just gonna return this. Yeah, to save up on some time, I just put the rocks in a pile here instead of wasting time going to the rock grinding thingamabob over here, you only get like $100 out of the rock, so it's not worth it until you get like a nice big pile of rocks you could put in the trailer here, and then you'll get more money doing that. All right, all of our fields have been seeded. We got canola up here, and then we got wheat here, and here. What I want to do now is go pick up some more flour from the grain mill and deliver that over to the bakery. So the bakery will continue to produce bread for us. All right, just dropping off our flour here. Got some pallets of bread going, but we're gonna wait. We're gonna hold off until December to sell those. All right, so the weeding on the canola field is done, so we'll just go ahead, skip back to tomorrow. Our wheat fields tomorrow will need to be weeded, so I'll just keep this on here. Okay, we're done weeding and fertilizing, and we also did a baling contract, so now we're back up to $81,000 in our money. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and skip ahead to the next day. Yeah, so we see the price fluctuation. Oh, actually January, we got a better price in January, so we'll save it for January to deliver the bread. One thing I keep forgetting is our production here. So we're out of wheat, so we need to start with our oats so that we could keep producing flour. Bread's still running, that's good. All right, once again we got some flour loaded, and then I also loaded my forklift so we could start loading some bread onto this. And then tomorrow, January, where the price should be the highest. Actually, well, the current price of bread is $3,000 at the Grocery-Y-mart, or if we go to the Johnson's farmers market, that might actually be better to go to than the Grocery-Y-mart. There we go, flour all offloaded. Now we just need to load up this bread. All right, bread's finally loaded onto the truck here, but again, we're gonna wait until January to drop it off at the Johnson's farmers market. So for now, I'm just gonna park this out of the way because, as you can see, I'm holding up traffic, I guess. The poor traffic. All right, let's look at this. So now bread should be, ooh, bread's actually, it's more valuable at the Grocer-Y-mart than at the Johnson's farmers market. So maybe we'll take our bread to the supermarket instead. I think we made almost 50,000. Let's double check. Not very close to it, like 48,000. Yeah, $49,133 in bread. Very, very nice. That was a lot of work to get that amount of money. You know, we had to harvest the wheat, then we had to take it to the grain mill, and then make it into bread to do all this. But now that we have since we're setting up our canola oil chain, hopefully that'll give us even more money. Now we're at $130,000 again, which is nice. We're back in the 6-figure range. Would be nice if we were in the 7-figure range. Today I played this game for 6 hours. I played this game for 6 hours, and all I recorded was us picking up flour, taking it to the bakery, and then picking up bread, taking it to the Grocery-Y-mart. And then 80 hours so far in this whole series. 80 hours of gameplay. And we've been doing 5 years, 42 missions completed, almost 500 bales produced. Expect less farming simulator videos coming out, just because in order to make a video that isn't repetitive, like you guys don't want to watch the same video over and over again, where it's okay, we harvest, we take it to there, we produce this, we take it over there, right? So now we're at the point where a new video has to have something new in it, some sort of new progression in it, not instead of like just showing you harvesting all the time, because you guys already seen harvesting, you've seen baling, you've seen cultivating, plowing, and all of that. So so now it's going to take longer for me to just make a farming simulator episode. I have to spend hours just playing the game to make like a 1 hour video. So as long as we're keep doing those $50,000 bread sales, and then hopefully when we start doing canola, we get another 50,000 from there. So we're making, hopefully we'll be making more money. But yeah, again, like I said, probably take longer for me to pump farming simulator videos out there, just so you guys see something new, see some progression, like buying a brand new tractor, buying bigger equipment and getting more fields set up and starting more production. But anyways, that is going to do it for this episode. We did get a lot accomplished here. We got all that bread sold. It's amazing. We're making more. We should be making more money now. We got a new production chain going with the canola oil. I just haven't bought the oil plant yet, so we'll do that in the next episode, because we'll buy that and then we'll harvest our canola, take our canola over there, and then start producing the oil. And we'll continue to mill grain, make that into flour, and produce bread. But yeah, there's just so much to this game too. Like, I want to do animal stuff. We haven't even done animal stuff yet, you know, and it just takes a while to get there with this game, and that's kind of like, I guess, the charm. But 80 hours so far into this game, and while we do have some to show for it, I mean, we got all these fields and equipment and production chains going, it's still, you know, after 80 hours I would expect more, and that's definitely my fault, you know, because I definitely chose the wrong kind of path. I should have done like grass or something instead and do bales, but it's all good. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna do it for me for this episode. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button, and also remember to subscribe as well, so you are informed of when new farming simulator videos come out. And it also supports the channel a lot, and I definitely appreciate all the support. So again, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.